Forex Fundamentals Part 2, Reading Currency Pairs. Throughout this topic, we will be looking at understanding what a Forex quote is, the bid and the ask prices, as well as what a spread is. Now, we're not going to go too deep into the spread and real deep into the actual Forex quote itself. All we want to do is just understand a Forex quote, understand what information it's providing us with, and there's going to be other topics down the track that we look at in greater detail, the spread and talking about how it's worked out and pip values and all that sort of thing. All right. What is a Forex quote? Some of us know and have seen it before. Others have no idea, but I can guarantee you are looking at it or have seen it. Forex quote is the price of one currency in terms of another currency. On our trading platforms, we will see the price of a particular currency pair in terms of buying, and we will see it in terms of selling. This is what we call a Forex quote. A Forex quote always involves currency pairs because you are buying one currency by selling another. Brokers will typically quote two prices for any currency pair, and the difference between them is what we call the spread. So over here we can see Euro US. This is the base currency. This is the quote currency. If you wanted to sell the Euro against the US, your broker will give it to you at 1.08660. If you were to buy, your broker would give it to you at 1.08674. The difference between the buy price and the sell price, which we can see if we had 1.08674 minus 1.08660, we get what is called a spread, 1.4 pip spread. Now, we're not going to go into too much detail about the spread and the pip value itself. All I need you guys to understand at this moment is there are two prices, a sell price and a buy price. The difference between these two is what we call a spread, and that is what the broker charges us. That's the fee that we are charged. That's how the broker makes their money. All right, most of us have seen this box before. If we're trading on MT4 or MT5, this is our market watch box. This is where we've got our symbols, our bid price, our ask price, and this column over here is the spread. If you don't have the spread on your platform at the moment, what you need to do is right click inside this section over here and a box will pop up and you'll see an option where it says spread. Click on that and this will pop up in through here, okay? The bid is the sell price and the ask is the buy price. Alright, just so you do not get confused, bid is the sell, ask is the buy. The difference between the ask and the bid price is called the spread. So we can see here Aussie US 0.66014 minus 0.66008 gives us a spread of 0.6. When we read this, all right, do not confuse yourself, guys. We can get a little bit confused if we don't understand. Any single digit that we have will generally have or should have a 0 point in front of it. It doesn't show us that. So this is 0.6, 0.3, not even a pip, 0.3, 0.3, 0.6, etc. Down here, we can see when there's multiple digits, we're going to put the decimal point in between. So this is 2.8, 1.0. All right, don't get confused. This isn't 6 pips. This is 0.6 pips. The spread is what the broker charges you. All right, the price to buy a currency will typically be more than the price to sell the currency. All right, the difference between these two is called the spread. That's how the broker makes his money, and that's the fee that we are charged for executing that trade. Let's break down the price so we understand it in greater detail. Over here we've got the currency pair, Euro USD. The bid price, which is the sell price, in this case is 1.11769. Let's break it down. $1, 11 cents, 76 pips, 9/10 of a pip, or called a pipette. I'm just going to expose you to one thing at the moment, which I don't want you to confuse yourself with, because we do have a topic that will focus on pips and the value of pips. But when we're talking about currency pairs that do not end in JPY, the fifth number, which is the pipette, or the fifth number after the decimal point, which is the pipette, has no value. Alright, the pip starts at the fourth number after the decimal point. So $1, 11 cents, 76 pips. So this would be 6 pips, this would be 76 pips, 176, 1176. You get my drift. Like I said, we will go into greater detail with this when we get to the pip values and understand where the pip starts, understand what particular number after the currency pair has value and what doesn't, and that differentiates between pairs that have JPY on the end and pairs that don't. Alright, for now, just understand that we've got a bid price, an ask price, and we want to understand that the difference between those two is what we call a spread. This brings us to the end of our topic. This was a very simple and easy topic to take on. If you guys have noticed already, what I do is I introduce you to these topics. I keep them very basic and very easy, one step at a time. A lot of us can be overwhelmed by the amount of information that comes through on these forex courses, and I want to allow those individuals who have zero knowledge, zero experience, to walk away from this understanding everything there is to need to know about forex. All right, so taking away one thing from here is understanding the bid price, understanding the sell price. What do they mean in terms of, are they buy or sell? But also understand that the difference between those two is what we call a spread, and that is how the broker makes their fee.